Welcome to our video. Deep Sun Island is considered one of the most favorite check-in spots for young people when traveling to Nha Trang, Kon Hoa because it possesses many unique scenery. Deep Sun Island impresses visitors at first sight with its poetic wilderness, along with unique virtual living spots such as the walking path in the middle of the sea, the Love Bridge where couples date. Because of that, Deep Sun tourism has become a destination that many people talk about. Although still wild, Deep Sun attracts tourists because of the floating road in the middle of the sea stretching nearly 700 meters. The journey to explore the island starts from Van Gia town. After about an hour floating at sea, the beautiful Deep Sun archipelago gradually appears, clearly cut out on the horizon. Make a plan to fully explore this beautiful archipelago. Some brief details about Deep Sun Island. Deep Sun is a series of 3 small islands, located in the waters of Van Phong Bay, Kon Hoa Province, about 60 kilometers north of Nha Trang City. Deep Sun tourism is known due to photos shared by a group of young people on social networks. Deep Sun is most famous for the road in the middle of the sea, connecting 2 islands with white sand, appearing and disappearing depending on the tide. Visitors can easily walk from one island to another and take advantage of taking more vivid photos amid the vast blue sea. Previously, there were 2 undersea roads in Deep Sun. One is the road connecting Han Bip and Han Qua. After the storm at the end of 2017, this road was almost completely wiped out, with only a few sand mounds rising in the middle of the sea when the tide receded. The second road is a shorter section, only about 400 m long, connecting Han O and Han Qua. This is the only remaining underwater road. When should you travel to Deep Sun? The weather in the south-central region is usually quite nice, except at the end of the year when it is easily affected by storms, so you need to monitor the weather before going. Coming to Deep Sun, you should avoid the 15th and 30th lunar day of every month because on these days, the water recedes quite a lot in the afternoon, so the road under the sea is quite muddy and bare, not as beautiful as other days. To make your fun plans go more smoothly, visitors should travel to Deep Sun Island in Nha Trang from December to June because this is the most ideal time with dry, warm weather and little rain. Calm seas help ships move to the island more quickly and comfortably, helping to limit the risk of people getting seasick. However, for those who do not like crowds and noise, you can still go at times when there are few people to enjoy the peaceful, quiet, unique atmosphere. Instructions on how to go to Deep Sun Island. First, you go to Nha Trang City, Kon Hoa Province, Vietnam. In Nha Trang, you can use rental motorbike, bus or train services to go to Van Gia Town, Van Ninh District, Kon Hoa Province. Move to Van Gia Fishing Port to buy tickets. This is a small archipelago about 10 minutes from the mainland by canoe and about 30 minutes by boat. After arriving at Van Gia Fishing Port, you can buy train tickets to Deep Sun Island at ticket stations. Currently, there are only 2 businesses licensed to transport passengers to the Deep Sun Island group area. In addition to these 2 businesses, there are also many local people who also take passengers to the island on fishing boats and tourist canoes. You can choose appropriate means depending on the situation, but you need to pay attention to ensure your own safety. Choose vehicles that ensure adequate life-saving equipment to avoid unfortunate situations from occurring. Staying at Deep Sun Island. Deep Sun Island has not yet developed strongly in tourism, so there are not many services, especially hotels and motels to serve the accommodation needs of tourists. However, if you want to stay overnight on the island, there are 3 ways as follows. Bungalow. If you come to reclining Buddha Island and want to stay, you can stay in one of the 6 bungalows built here. Bungalows are built with basic amenities such as beds and fans. Of course, you cannot ask for more luxurious amenities such as air conditioning and refrigerators on an island that is still so limited. Homes of local people. If you stay on the Hon Bip side, you can stay in a homestay because there are more households living on the island. You can use Google Translate to communicate with people. Camping. For some of you traveling in large groups, if you want, you can find public places and set up a tent to stay. You need to prepare enough things to bring because sometimes shopping on the island is quite difficult. Food. As an island, there are many rich types of seafood for you to choose from. The local seafood market held early in the morning right on the island is a suitable place for you to choose a variety of cheap seafood. If you want to change your taste, you can buy chicken from a chicken farm on the island to grill. Really suitable for a camping trip with great barbecue parties. Some note. If you want to save time, you should take a canoe to the island. If you want to leisurely watch the sky and sea, you can take a local boat, but you need to pay attention to the safety of these boats. Deep Sun does not officially have a beach, so the surrounding area is quite shallow and has many marine species such as jellyfish, sea urchins. Please pay attention to avoid being affected. There is currently no electricity on the island, so if possible, bring plenty of spare batteries for your digital devices to take photos and videos. Although the lives of the people of Deep Sun Island still lack material resources and are extremely difficult, they are extremely friendly, simple and hospitable. Visitors coming here can follow the fishing households to have more real-life experiences about a working day of the people here or explore the market space of Deep Sun Island and enjoy fresh, delicious seafood. The video ends here. If you find it interesting, please subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to support the channel. See you again in the upcoming video.